In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you all of my secrets on how to master cold calling. Cold calling is the heart of my business. I would not be where I am today without cold calling. It has helped me go from $0 to making $150,000. I am going to share with you my 5 tips on how to master cold calling. Before we get started in today's video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you want to see more types of videos about this topic, along with other business related content. I make vlogs, I make lifestyle content, I'm a mom, I'm a real estate agent, and I have over 15 plus years of sales experience. I used to work in tech sales, and now I am a licensed real estate agent here in Orange County, and I create content all about the topic of sales. So without further ado, let's jump right on in. Tip number 1, how many times have you stared at your phone? You have felt so much anxiety and so much angst and overwhelming feeling of fear and not wanting to dial because you're scared of how the call's gonna go. You're scared of people rejecting you, hanging up on you, cussing at you. You are just over analyzing and overthinking the outcomes of how the calls are gonna go. Stop all of that. You have to give 0 F's about what that person's gonna think of you, how the call's gonna go. You cannot care about how the calls are going to go. You have to accept that 99% of the time, these people are going to hang up on you. You are going to hear a lot of no's. But you have to think of that as like a good thing, because the more no's you get, it's going to lead you closer to having a yes. Put away your fear. Have 0 fear of how the call is going to go. Put away that anxiety. Do not let that stress and anxiety of how these calls are going to go paralyze you and prevent you from cold calling. Once you overcome that fear of the outcome, you are going to become so much better, so much more comfortable and confident in making cold calls. You have to believe that cold calling is going to lead you to success. You have to believe that cold calling is powerful. It is going to lead you to X amount of dollars, whatever your goals are. It is the heart of your business, and it has helped me tremendously throughout my entire sales career, not just in tech sales, but even currently today in real estate. I would not be where I am today without cold calling. Think of it like you are talking to your favorite long lost cousin that you haven't talked to in a really long time. Think of these people as average people. Envision them sitting on a toilet. Envision them half naked doing something random. It's just like they are any other human being. So why take it so serious, right? These are just your average people, your neighbors, your friends that you're talking to. Keep it fun, keep it casual. Don't overthink it, don't stress. Don't worry about how the call's gonna go, and just smile. Smile and dial. That is what I tell myself every single day. That is why I have a mirror by my computer, because I want to make sure that I'm smiling, that I am cheerful, that I am positive, optimistic, I am charming. Instantly, when you get a live person on the phone, you want to flip that charismatic switch on, and you want to smile and have a casual, normal conversation. The second tip that I have for you when it comes to cold calling is practice. Role play as much as you can. Get a role playing partner. There are Facebook groups out there where people are looking for role playing partners, whether that's in tech sales, in real estate, whatever industry you're in. Look for a partner to practice your scripts. Internalize them, memorize them, know what you're going to say, but don't sound overly scripted. You want to make sure that you are internalizing these scripts so that you know what to say, but you don't sound robotic. The last thing that you want to do is sound robotic on the phone. You don't want to be that person where that other person you're talking to is asking, is this a robocall? Click. Don't want to sound robotic, machine-like at all. And that's why it's so important to practice your craft, Practice tonality. You're not sounding too mumbly, jumbly. Cold calling, there's going to be a lot of objections. You're going to have to handle so many objections, and objections is nearly just a question that needs to be answered by you, by the salesperson, by the expert. And so you have to internalize your scripts. You have to know what you want to say, how to overcome all of these objections. For me, what I like to do is I print my objections in my scripts. So I have like the top 10 most common objections that I get on phone calls. I print them out. I either put them on a wall, I tape them on the wall, or I tape them up to like a cardboard, or I have them up on a second monitor, on a second screen. And so I know exactly what I need to say if someone comes back to me and says, we already have a real estate agent, it's a good friend of ours, we're gonna go with them. I know how to handle that. If someone says, you know what, we're not gonna list our home right now, we're gonna wait until the market gets better, I have an objection handler for that. So find somebody in your industry, in your market to practice with, who is going to know what the scripts are in order to give you certain objections that you need to handle. Early on in my career, this was key. Early on in my real estate career, role playing was key because I had hired a real estate coach to help me internalize and memorize the scripts. But she urged me very early on in my career that it was so important to practice, not just with her, but with someone else who was also kind of brand new, you know, same type of experience. We were both newbies starting out, and she urged me to practice every single morning for at least 30 minutes. And I can't tell you how much that helped me throughout my real estate career, because as soon as I became better at handling objections and internalizing the scripts, I sounded less script-like on the phone. I sounded less robotic. I had more energy to engage and be present with the other party. And being engaged and present is so important when you are having a conversation, because you want to be listening and addressing their concerns effectively. So that is so important, is to role play and practice as much as you can. Third secret that I have for you is always be prepared. Be prepared to not only overcome objections, but to answer questions. If the person is sounding confused as to why you're calling them, have an answer. If they're asking, how did you get my number? Have an answer. Be succinct, be clear, be concise. Don't say, that's gonna lose the other party. If you don't know what you're going to say next, if you don't know how to, handle those questions, if you are constantly stuttering, mumbling over your words, having to look through your scripts, or having to come up with an answer on the fly, those are all going to be red flags, and the other party is going to hang up the phone. You want to try and keep them on the phone. So try, as best as you can, know what to say, because you're going to probably get the most common types of questions over and over. So as soon as you start noticing a trend in those types of questions, come up with a very short, succinct, very concise, direct answer that's not going to be off-putting, but is going to address their concerns and is going to kind of calm their nerves, because the other party is going to be obviously in fight or flight mode. They don't know who's calling them. They don't know why you're calling them. They don't know how you got their number. So make sure that you're very clear and concise as to who you are, why you're calling, how you got their number, what you have to offer them, what sort of value that you have to offer them, and just be prepared. Know what you're going to say on the phone, and don't stumble, don't say try to be really confident, be really powerful when you're speaking to them on the phone. It's going to come off very professional, like you know what you're doing, that you are confident in your skills and your abilities, and you can address their concerns effectively. Listen to this very clearly. You will have fear of cold calling for 2 reasons. Don't believe in what you're doing. You don't believe in the service that you're offering. You don't believe that your offering is going to benefit the customer. So you have to believe in what you're selling. You have to believe in not only your product, your service, but you have to believe in yourself. If you don't have that belief, you're always going to have fear of cold calling and the fear of reaching out to people. Second is you don't believe in ratios. Every salesperson knows this. For every 100 no's, you're going to get a yes. It's a simple ratio and statistics and numbers game. We as salespeople know that this is the reality of the game, and you have to treat it as such. You have to know and believe that these no's are going to lead you to a yes. Never get 100 leads, and out of the 100 leads, 100 of them say yes. That's just simply impossible. So the question becomes, how many calls do I need to make in order to get to that yes? How many contacts do I need to make in order to set X number of appointments per day, per week, per month, per year? You have to think of it as a numbers game and look at it as exactly that. It's a game. It's a numbers and a statistics and ratio game. So if you can look at it from that perspective, cold calling becomes so much easier. It takes that pressure off. It relieves some stress because you know it's all about numbers and being able to backtrack from your goal in order to hit your numbers and contacts for that day. So for me, for instance, I need to make 25 contacts per day in order to get to one lead. And then I work through that and I say, well, how many leads do I need to make in order to get to however many appointments I want to set for the week? So it's kind of like just backtracking and saying, okay, this is my goal. Well, if this is my goal, this is how many leads I need. Well, if I need these many leads, then I need to make X number of contacts per day. It's as simple as that. And pretty much that's the same type of ratio that works throughout all types of sales cold calling jobs. So just think of it as, numbers, metrics, ratio, statistics. That's what's worked for me. It has helped me so much in just my mindset when it comes to cold calling. Sales, influence, persuasion, tonality, all of this can be learned. I was not a natural born salesperson. Yes, I grew up in an environment where I was around salespeople, but I was not a natural born salesperson. And I do believe that you can put yourself in a position where you can become a natural born salesperson. You can have those traits because I do believe that you can learn, you can train yourself to have all of these traits. It's all about practice, training, experience, reading, listening to podcasts, and most importantly, putting it into practice. If you are practicing your craft every single day, you're going to get better. And you have to believe that you are good enough and you can do this. And I believe in you. You can do this. I know it's hard. It is very tough. You're putting yourself out there. It is scary. It is fearful. If it was easy, everyone would be doing it. But I can tell you from personal experience that practice helped me so much across the board with my personality, with my tonality on the phone, with how persuasive I was on the phone. And now to this day, it's like when I hear someone telling me on the phone that I was so persistent, I was relentless, but I was very charismatic on the phone, these are all compliments to my abilities because I have perfected my skills time and time and time again. And so now when I hear that on the phone, it's such a motivation and such a affirmation. Like it just reaffirms everything that I have done over the last 15 years. It just reassures me to keep going and to keep chasing after my dreams because I know that I'm doing something right. The last and final tip that I have for you is never stop cold calling, even when you've reached your goals, even when you are knee deep in deals, trying to close deals, and you are busy with whatever the case may be. You've got other appointments and you're just busy, you're tied up. Never give up on cold calling because cold calling is the heart, it is the root of your business. As soon as you quit and stop cold calling, you're going to flatline, because once those deals have closed, once you are done with those deals, you've got nothing left. You've got nothing else in the pipeline. What's going to keep your pipeline going? It's going to be cold calling. So you keep cold calling. You're going to have those weeks where you have sales. You're going to have those months where you don't have sales. It is going to fluctuate, and prospecting is going to help keep your pipeline full so that you don't have those lulls in your sales business. No matter how busy you get, keep cold calling. I hope this video was helpful. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed this content. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.